This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Well, let's talk about some news and notes as we head into the company's big pay-per-view post WrestleMania. Meltzer would write in the Observer that neither Linda nor Vince were at the WrestleMania post-match party. This is a little unusual because we've as fans heard that there's one big blowout WWE party every year, and it's the night of WrestleMania. At the conclusion of the show, there's always a post-match party, and the McMahons were usually at it, at least in this era. Neither Vince nor Linda are here. Of course, Vince was taking all those shots in his match with Brett, so maybe that had something to do with it. What can you tell us about the WrestleMania post-match party? And was it curious that Vince nor Linda were here this time?
Well, they really big time spared no expense. It was a world-class wingding, really was, from the ice sculptors with shrimp dangling from everywhere to all kinds of seafood, prime rib, open bar tab. It was mostly for the talent. Vince would make a quick appearance every now and then. Some years he would not show up. Some years he would. Imagine after that beating he took from the entire extended Hart family, he probably was not in the mood to go eat shrimp and prime rib and have cocktails, but who knows? But it was really done up well for the talent. The talent appreciated it. It was one of those things that was as first class as you can get.
Something else that a lot of people didn't see coming was a WrestleMania story in the Observer. Meltzer would write, a WrestleMania story that never came out is Keith Hart refused to take part in the Vince versus Brett Lumberjack match. I don't know the reasons other than he had only agreed to come for the Hall of Fame to honor his father. The few people in the family I heard from about the match kind of recognized going in that the nature of the psychology wasn't making sense. The idea of the match was that since Brett couldn't take any shots to the head, they wanted him on offense. And the idea to use the match was to elevate the Hart dynasty to become real players in the tag team scene and start the affiliation with Brett, as well as blow off the Mr. McMahon character and kind of babyface him at the end, but figuring, it wouldn't turn Brett heel since that wouldn't serve any purpose. Keith Hart is a guy we haven't heard a lot about as wrestling fans, unless you grew up maybe, as a Stampede fan. Do you know Keith? Did you ever spend any time with Keith? Any stories of Keith?
Nothing. I have no knowledge of him whatsoever. Never worked for their company, and it's like even the limited time that I was in the WWF, I was not around Brett much, and I wasn't around Owen hardly at all. In those days, you were had your traveling partners, and as soon as the show was over, you were on your way to the next town. There was very little downtime, and you would get to the arena for a house show. Now, remember, TV was only every 3 weeks, so every night was a house show. You would get there 6:30. You'd get ready, you'd do your match, you get in the car, you'd take off to the next town. So there wasn't a lot of downtime with those guys. Keith, I don't know anything about whatsoever. But if he didn't want to be involved, it didn't take a brain surgeon to figure out when they heard what was laid out for that match, that was going to turn into a cluster. And boy, did it.
Yes, it did. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.